Hi there, I'm Kim Maslin, Digital Technologies Educator based in Esperance. This session is about sharing your story on YouTube. In just a moment, I'm going to switch my screen over so that we can go through some background to YouTube before I walk you through step by step how to go about uploading your content to this platform. This presentation is part of the Digital Creation Hub Esperance project, which is delivered by Esperance Community Arts in partnership with a collective of local content creators. A big thank you to all our sponsors and funding bodies who have made this project happen. So in this workshop, what we're covering is everything to do with uploading a video to YouTube. We're going to start by looking at what actually is YouTube, what the benefits are of using YouTube, and then we're going to jump onto YouTube itself so I can walk you through how to upload videos and all the different buttons that you need to press and what you can then do with that video once it's on the YouTube platform. In other words, how can you then share it via email or on other social media platforms like Facebook? So a little bit about YouTube. I'm sure you've heard of it. You're probably watching this video on YouTube right now. So we know that it is a video sharing platform. So unlike Instagram and Facebook that allow for pictures and links and quizzes and all of those other things, YouTube is purely for video content. It was launched in 2005, so it's a relatively old social networking site. It's been around for 15 years now. And it is owned by Google. So Google own YouTube along with a number of other platforms and sites. And it's essentially free to view literally billions of videos. Now, in the last few years, Google has implemented various premium options. So for instance, you can pay to subscribe in order to not have ads show up when you're watching videos. However, at this point in time, it's completely free to come on and search and find and view content. Now, YouTube is huge. We know this. In Australia, it is the second most popular social media site that is used by social media users. So the number one site, of course, is Facebook. That's right. But YouTube is number two. 54% of our Australian social media users are using YouTube. And that's compared to about 95% who use Facebook. YouTube has 2 billion monthly logged in users. So that's 2 billion people around the world who are logging into YouTube every single month. And people are uploading 500 hours of video content every single minute to YouTube. Now, obviously, this is Esperance-based project, so we are in regional Australia. So the average regional Australian is watching an average of 29.9 minutes of YouTube content every time they sit down to watch YouTube. So basically half an hour. For those who are interested, the Australians living in metro areas, they are spending approximately 32 minutes per sitting. So a lot of content out there, a lot of consumption being made. And interestingly, 70% of YouTube views are on mobile devices, which, aligns with the other platforms as well. So the benefits of using YouTube. Firstly, of course, it's free. So for us as the content creator, the artist, the organization, the business, it's completely free to set up a YouTube account and start uploading our photos. It gives us huge, broad reach. As we know, we've got a huge number of people using YouTube. And the great thing about this is people can use YouTube without having an account. So for example, if you post something to Facebook, other people need to have a Facebook account in order to get onto Facebook to view that content. It's not the case with YouTube. So that reach is in essence even broader or more accessible because, anyone, and we know there are a lot of people out there that, choose not to be on Facebook or Instagram. And so, or, don't even have an email account. So hosting a video on YouTube makes it very accessible, also opens you up to really increase your reach, which is great when you're trying to share your stories. It's a really great place to host a video. So in essence, if you've got a video on your computer and you want others to see it, it can't just live on your computer. It needs to live somewhere, what we say in the cloud, it needs to live up, in the internet somewhere. YouTube is the perfect place to do this, for this video to live, because it has a home on YouTube. So there's a place there that you can send people to view it. But what YouTube also allow is for you to easily share that video then onto other social media websites like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, but also through email. It's also really easy to embed videos from YouTube into a website. So if you essentially think of YouTube as the home, this is where the video lives, and then it's really easy for you to share that video out to people through all those other ways: website, social media, email. And of course, we know using video is a great way to share your stories and to promote yourself. People engage with videos. It's such a great way of communicating, and it's such a great way to absorb content. So when it comes to uploading a video to YouTube, few things that you need. You obviously need a device to actually, do the upload. And with YouTube, this can be on a phone, tablet, laptop, computer, it doesn't matter. Personally, I always recommend doing these things on a laptop or computer because I just find that the functionality is far richer on these devices. Sites like Facebook and YouTube, they tend to strip back the functionalities within the apps on the phone or the tablet. So you can't always be guaranteed to be able to do everything that you can do when you're on the laptop or computer. So by all means, you can upload straight from your phone, no worries. If possible though, I always recommend laptop or computer. Now, in order to upload to YouTube, like to have a YouTube account, you need to have a Gmail account. So that is essentially an email address that's provided to you by Google. So, your name at gmail.com, Kim Maslin at gmail.com, whatever it might be, you need to have one of those. Now, these are free to set up and it takes 5 minutes. You just have to give Google, your name, come up with an email address, and away you go. You then use that Gmail account to log into YouTube and then you can upload the video. You, of course, need the video to upload. Now, YouTube support a wide range of video formats. I've listed a few common ones here on the screen. But, for your reference, basically anything that you've recorded on your phone or iPad is compatible to go straight up there. If you're editing within, iMovie or Premiere Pro, Premiere Rush or something like that, once you export it, that's generally exported as an MP4, maybe a movie file, .mov file. They're all compatible as well. And then optionally, you may like a thumbnail image, which is just a picture, and I'll explain more about that as we go. So that's essentially all I wanted to show you here on the PowerPoint, sort of just setting the scene. We know YouTube is very popular. We know that YouTube has a lot of benefits for us as content creators and storytellers, and we know what we need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump over to YouTube and I'm going to walk you through the process of uploading a video. So just for context, I've just opened up YouTube here. Now, if we just go to youtube.com, this will essentially take you to your YouTube, newsfeed or dashboard, homepage, whatever you want to call it. And this is really where you go to view content, to watch videos. However, as the creator, there are two ways of going about doing this. The first is from here, you can click on this little icon here, the little camera with the plus button. It says create, and away you go. What you can also do though is the actual website to go to is studio.youtube.com. So just adding that studio at the front there. And the benefit of this is it takes you to your channel's dashboard. And from here, you can still create a video. So still in the top right corner. But you've also got access to, sort of seeing the other videos that you've published, looking at your analytics, creating playlists. You got more options as the creator. So I find going to studio.youtube.com really helpful. From here, well, first thing to do, actually, I should say, is just this in the account button, just in the top right. You see our Esperance Community Arts logo visible here. Just always check that you are logged in to the correct Gmail account, because I've got access to a couple, my personal one, Esperance Community Arts. So you can switch accounts if you need to. So just always check if you don't want to upload a video to the wrong account. And then click on Create, Upload Videos. Now you notice they had plural videos there because you can upload more than one at a time. Your video size can be up to 128 gigabytes from memory. So huge. Like for the sort of stories that we're talking about, you're never going to reach that. So, which is great. So from this point, you could drag and drop some video files or select files here. And then it's simply a matter of finding on your computer where you've saved your finished video ready to go. Now I'm just going to pick just a really, just the first sort of thing I've got here, just a short one. It's going to think for a little bit. And this is really where, your internet speed's going to come into play, as well as the size of the video. If I just draw your attention down the bottom here, because this will be quite a quick one, you'll notice we're currently at 0% processed. This progress bar though, look, we're at 95. This is going to be finished in a sec because it's a really small video. 99, off we go. So it's a really good way down in that bottom left-hand corner just to keep track of where YouTube is at in terms of uploading a video. The bigger the video, the slower your internet, the longer it's going to take. So don't be concerned if, I've had this take up to 2 hours. It just depends on how, on those two factors. So the great thing at this point with YouTube is they walk you through all the steps that you need to do. So first thing is to pick a title. Now people see this title. If I just jump onto YouTube, I'm going to bring up a video that Esperance Community Arts published recently, because I think it's a really good way of just showing you what each bit's referring to. So let me just bring up, so I've just clicked on our name, go to our channel, and I'll just pick this video here. So what you see here, what I'm highlighting, that is the title. So everyone sees that. So, obviously you don't want it to say screen recording. You want it to say something relevant. So you'll decide what that might be. And also Google picks this up in the searching. So when a person is on YouTube searching for content, this is what YouTube looks at, this title. So you do want to think about your keywords and make sure that you're really making it clear what that video is about. Thinking about what are people looking for. Here in the description, you've got 5,000 characters where you can tell people about the video. And you'll notice here, it will show about a sentence, and then it has the show more button, and you can include more text. You can also embed URLs or website links here as well. So it's a really great way of cross-promoting. If you have a website or a Facebook page, Instagram account, you can direct people off YouTube to those pages also. So you would type that all out. Oops, we'll just go description. Now, I mentioned thumbnails, a little while ago. The thumbnail is essentially, if I just go back one step here to our channel, you'll notice each video has a still image on top of it. This is the thumbnail. This is the video thumbnail. So it's essentially what people see before they hit play. So it's a real opportunity to showcase what the video is about, to entice people to watch it. And YouTube helps you out by grabbing from the video 3 spots of the video. So 3 parts of the video like that, which is what we've done here. These are just stills from the videos themselves. So selecting that will just make that the still image, the thumbnail image. However, you could also upload a thumbnail image, which would be, a picture that you might have created, if you want that thumbnail to look different. So what you'll often see is people might have a picture, but then they might add some extra text over it as well. Completely your choice. For now, I'm just going to keep it, with the default one. We scroll down to playlists. Playlists are a great feature when you start having quite a lot of video content on your page or on your YouTube account. So playlists are essentially just a way of organizing your videos. So for instance, we've got one here called the Digital Creation Hub project. What that means is when someone comes to our page, they can go to videos and they can see all the different videos that we've got. But by going to playlists, they can view videos based purely around a particular interest. So in this case, the Dig Hub project. So if I click on that, we don't want that to start, so I'll just pause. But over here on the right, you'll notice we've got 11 videos at the moment, but they're all related to this project. They're all videos exactly like the one you're watching now. So it's a really great way of categorizing. And so at this point, you would just tick any number of playlists listed here that you have. If you wanted to create a new playlist, if you're, entering a new topic here, that's fine. You can click on that and add it. Or you can leave it blank. It's completely up to you. So at this point, is it made for kids or not? You make that decision. And then we click on more options. Because what I want to draw your attention to is, all of this is optional, by the way. You can add these extra bits of information in if you like. The important box, just to double check, is ticked, is this allow embedding, if you plan on embedding this video onto a website. So you need to make sure that's ticked. Pick a suitable category. All of this is optional if you want people to be able to comment on it. If you want people to be able to see how many people like the video or not, you can tick and untick, it's up to you. And then we go next. Okay, then the next step is video elements. So again, this is a relatively new feature that YouTube has brought in. Essentially, video elements are opportunities for you to promote some key call to actions, some other videos that you've made, encourage people to subscribe to your channel. And you might have noticed them yourself when you're watching a video. Little pop-ups, like little icons, kind of appear on the screen as you're watching. Or at the end of the video, it says, hey, here's another video that you might like. That's what this is. That's what this is referring to. So they're really only there if you add them. Not compulsory. YouTube does love it if you do add them because it's encouraging people to stay on the site and continue watching content. It's also great from your perspective as well because it's an opportunity for you to share other videos you've created that someone might find interesting. And so if you want to add one of these, it's simply a matter here of clicking on add. And you want to, for the card, which sort of card do you want? Are you promoting a video? So another video you've created? Are you promoting, the whole playlist? Are you promoting your channel? So I might sort of say, let's promote another video that ECA has made that I want them, if they're watching this video, then they actually might also like this video. And then I say, when do I want this video to start? So I want this video this card, I should say, to appear, I don't know, let's go after 5 seconds. And what you'll notice down here is our timeline. And so we can see the timeline of the video itself. So my video only goes for about 20 seconds. And this little blue, card here, that's the card. That's when it appears. So what I can do, I can click here and I can click play. So just watch up in this top. Okay, do you notice this little icon has appeared here? Okay, so you notice it wasn't here, so you just got to watch in this top right corner, so nothing's there. We get to 5 seconds, boom, that's expanded. There's the information, and someone can click on that, and it's going to go and show them that video. So, like I say, handy little cross-promotional opportunity. Now, at this point, I could either save that or discard. I'm going to discard because we're just going through the basics here. This is grayed out for me at the moment. I can only suspect that's because my video is quite short, because normally that option is there as well for you. And the end screen works in much the same way. So it looks the same as this in that you're presented with the timeline, and you would just simply select which videos do you want to appear at the end of the video, and at what time frame do you want them to appear. Okay, so I'll say again, it's completely optional. If you're purely getting started on YouTube for the first time, personally, I would leave this. I wouldn't even worry about it. I'd click next. And then as you feel confident, you can always come back to videos and add this section in. So our final step is visibility. So essentially, who can see this video once you hit publish? So we've got 3 options. Public means that, anyone in the world, anyone on YouTube, anyone with the link can see this video. Unlisted means that only the people that you send the video link, which is this blue text over here, only those people can view the video. So it doesn't just live on your channel or on your playlists out there for the world to see, only the people with the link. And finally, private, only you can see the video, / the people that you specifically pick to see it. So the other, YouTube users that you select. So 3 options there. Obviously, if you're trying to share a story, public's good. But there are certainly times where private or unlisted, become more practical, particularly, perhaps if you're working, as part of a closed group, particularly if you're working with kids, school projects, you might need them hosted up here to share with parents, but you don't want the world to see. That's where unlisted and private can be really helpful. Now, you could set a scheduling option if you didn't want the video to be published live right now. And that is it. You click the blue publish button, and then that video is just going to appear. If I go back to our channel, it will just appear here. Oops, just pause that, as the next video on the list. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that today because that's not, this is actually a video we want to upload. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And then once you've done that, so I'm just going to cancel that, and it will actually, you'll notice this little message, it will actually be saved as a draft. So if you get halfway through this, get called away to something else, you can come back and finish it off at a later time, which is worth looking at right now. So if you recall, we're back here in studio.youtube.com, and we're logged in as Esperance Community Arts. So by default, we're just here on our dashboard. But if I click here on videos, what I'm going to see is a whole list of all the videos on my account, including the ones that are currently in draft mode. So for instance, this is the video that we were just working on. It's in draft, so nothing's, it's not published, but I can click edit draft and be taken back to exactly where we were. So if I, want to change that thumbnail, want to, update the description, go in and add those end screens we spoke about, I can do all of that. And you notice here, saving draft, you notice here, YouTube, it's updating those changes as I go. So again, I could close it, reopen it, I could spend as long as I need to coming in and out fixing that. Okay, likewise, if a video that we've already published here, if we need to make some changes there or delete it, we can. We just look for these 3 dots, the options. We click on that. We could edit the title and description again, get a link, delete forever. If we just wanted to get rid of it, we can do all of those things. We can also edit the details more thoroughly by clicking on the editing pencil. You'll notice this looks slightly different because it hasn't appeared as that little pop-up editing screen that we're used to, but it's still got the same features. It's still asking you the same questions. Okay, about description, is it made for kids? Then over here, how visible is it for people? Okay, end screens, cards. And you just would have to click save once you're done with any of those changes. So studio.youtube.com, that is the place to go to make any of these edits. Now, let's have a look at actually sharing a video once it's been created. So I will just take us back to this example video we've got. So every video on YouTube, so not just yours, everyone's out there, every YouTube video has its own unique web address or URL. And you can see that up here at the top. Okay, so, youtube.com/ all these different weird letters and numbers. Okay, and that tells the computer to take us to this video. So if we want to share this video with someone, quickest thing to do is just select this text and copy it. Okay, and we can then paste that text and go to it, and we're taken to that video. So that link could be sent, via email. It could be uploaded to Facebook, anywhere you like, anywhere you share that link, someone will be redirected back to this page. The other thing you can do is click on this share button here, and you'll notice you'll get the same thing. You get the link that also lived here at the top, and there's just a button that you can click called copy. Okay, paste it into an email or whatever, and off you go. But also you've got some other options here. You can go direct, share direct to Facebook or direct to Twitter, all these other options. But you've also got this embed option. So this is relevant if you're wanting to embed this into an existing website like Wix, for example, WordPress. What you can do is just click to select all this and click copy. And then what you need to do is just follow the prompts over on your website platform, to paste that content in, to paste that code in over there. So very simple, very straightforward. YouTube has done, all this coding for you. And essentially what that means is on your website, it is just an embedded link. So it's not a separate copy of the video. It's this same video just being made visible on your website as well as being made visible on YouTube. So in other words, if someone watches this video here on the Esperance Community Arts website, that view counts to the overall number of views here. Okay, because they're watching the same video. It's just a link back to it. Okay, so they make it really easy to share that content and to share the story. And that's basically it when it comes to YouTube. I find, compared to some of the other platforms out there, Facebook being a great example, it's pretty straightforward in that you're generally coming on here to create. So you click on create and then you just follow the prompts and away you go. Thank you so much for watching this session on sharing your story on YouTube. I hope you found it useful. Please be sure to check out all the other videos that are available as part of the Digital Creation Hub project Esperance.